results. Again, I remind the viewers, we not only have funds under management, we also have significant direct balance sheet exposure with 40 million plus of direct fair value. That we anticipate will continue to grow.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by EMV Capital CEO, Dr. Ilyan Ilyev. Ilyan, very good to speak with you, and congratulations on the capital raise, which was oversubscribed. Also, strong support for the wrap retail offer. Take us through the placing and the mechanics of it.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Well, I mean, let me start by saying that while we all know we live in a rapidly changing environment, and the markets have been difficult and challenging, to say the least, including on AIM. What I hope we have demonstrated is that when there is a business with high conviction and also a shareholder following that understands and supports the business model, that it is possible to have successful fundraisings despite all the negativity. So we are, of course, very pleased with the outcome and looking forward to the next steps. So to your question about the mechanics of it, so we have just closed a oversubscribed 1.5 million investment round into EMV Capital. Importantly for us, this was at a 15% premium to the closing market price at the time when the raise was when the subscription was announced. And we did this in two parts. So the first part was a subscription that closed off at just north of £900,000, and that was composed of management, including myself, as well as some of our shareholders and investors that know the company well. And of course, we were very much keen to keep this open for the broader retail market and smaller shareholders with whom we may not have been in touch. And we were quite happy that the wrap offering brought in £600,000 or thereabouts. So the total is 1.5 million. We found the mechanisms worked well. Of course, again, we know we're in difficult markets, but overall, all the parties were quite focused, and we're quite happy with the result.
Have you also added new shareholders to your register, Ilyan?
We have indeed. So there's a number of parties that have joined.
How do you plan to use the capital to support your growth strategy?
So we have, just as a reminder to your viewers, our strategy is now quite streamlined. We have a vision to be a leading deep tech and life sciences VC investment group. As you flagged, we have 100 million of assets under management. A significant part of that is direct balance sheet holdings, so direct exposure for the shareholders, and the rest of it is part of our growing fund management practice. We now have an expanded portfolio of 70 companies, and our next milestone is reaching 200 million AUM. And all of this is made possible with our combined model of fundraising, deployment of our fund practice, balance sheet investment, but as well as our value creation services practice, helping to add value to our companies, in due course leading to exit. So in terms of making use of the funding, it is going to be primarily focused on working capital, helping to grow and expand our fund management practice. For the year to date, we have roughly £500,000 of recurring fund management fees. We anticipate that doubling for next year or more. We're also targeting the launch of a further fund or funds under our infrastructure, again, to grow our assets under management. We also flagged in the presentations, and you can see it in the RNS, the growing success of our venture build program, where just across 4 companies, Deep Tech Recycling, dnAME, Adventive, and Vortex, we have created more than £7 million of fair value on the back of really modest cash investment of £400,000 and thereabouts in-kind services. So 7 million created with £400,000 in cash, £400,000 in-kind services over 2 years. Now, that is a remarkable result, and we want to continue to grow this venture building program. It all connects together. We are only able to do that because we have the fundraising side, the corporate finance side, the fund management side, the value creation services side, and our proactive management approach that enables us to do these things with our portfolio. So in terms of use of funds, it is to make the infrastructure work. Now, we have route to profitability. We have route to break even within a reasonable period of time. I couldn't possibly forecast exactly when, or wouldn't, but for us, this is quite a positive moment. It is the last sprint, if you will.
Ilian, your focus for 2025 as you target that 200 million pounds in funds under management?
So in terms of the upside or where we think this will have a breakout, we actually have several shots on goal. The first one is we now have a diversified portfolio of 70 plus portfolio companies, including the portfolio of our Cambridge-based fund, Martlet Capital. That in itself provides significant upside simply because we have it. However, where we are proactively involved, we have significant prospects for capital gains as the portfolio companies start exiting over the next 18 to 24 months. Again, I remind the viewers, we not only have funds under management, we also have significant direct balance sheet exposure with 40 million plus of direct fair value. That we anticipate will continue to grow. Through the funds practice, we have exposure to carried interest. And furthermore, with this route to break even we have, and when we talk about route to break even, it is on the back of operational income. We're not counting here the capital gains from exits. That will make the company significantly more powerful, more independent, giving it the ability to wait out and maximize the exits as they come through. Last but not least, we have this proven value creation formula with the venture building side where we anticipate adding other portfolio companies. So again, it's not the one thing, it's several elements of our business model that are working together to create this diversified value creation machine, which doesn't depend on only one leg. So 25 will be an absolutely exciting year for us, and as will 26, no doubt be as well.
Well, I'm sure we'll be following your progress. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Thank you, Stephen.
That's Dr. Ilian Iliev. He's the CEO of EMV Capital.